This is Abdullah. Abdullah reached out to me with a friend request way back in 2019. He was my first friend from Gaza. Then came October 7th of 2023. I felt an overwhelming need to check in on my friend to see if he was okay. Ever since then, we've chatted most days. In December of that year, tragedy struck when his 3-year-old nephew Tariq was killed. Last year, my father fell down a flight of stairs just 3 days after heart surgery and spent nearly an entire year on his deathbed as his body and brain declined. Abdullah reached out several times a week, always checking in on him and offering his prayers. In April, Israel targeted a charity kitchen Abdullah's family volunteered at. Abdullah didn't only share stories of dread. A week before, Abdullah confided in me that he felt dizzy every time he tried to stand. This is Amir. Amir is just 17. yet he and his family are forced to live in a tent in the harsh conditions of the Khan Yunis refugee camp. Amir bears the heavy burden of finding food and water for his family while trying to earn money for their survival. Yet this task feels almost impossible when he's surrounded, for as far as the eye can see, by people just like him who have no homes and no jobs. In Gaza, the struggle for finding food becomes even more dire as Israel blocks food and aid from entering. The only aid that reaches Gaza is tightly controlled by the US and Israel. 4 aid sites, set up in areas Israel calls active combat zones. These aid sites can't meet the desperate needs of the hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinians who are left without food, work, homes, or any means to support their families. Strict schedules dictate when aid can be collected, yet with countless Palestinians in dire need and supplies painfully limited, people arrive hours early, hopeful to bring much-needed food back to their families. But as Israel considers these areas active combat zones, showing up early is an invitation to get shot and killed. Crossing an invisible line, known only to the Israeli and American men with guns, is also an invitation to get you shot and killed. Yet if you don't show up early, you're too late, and no aid will be available for you. Here's Abdullah to describe his experience. Back to Amir. Despite the atrocities Amir has faced, he believes in always trying to smile through it all. Amir wants to evacuate Gaza and study to become an engineer, so he can return and help rebuild. This is Ahmed. Ahmed lives with his younger brother Omar and younger sister Ghazal in a tent with their mother Hayam in the same Khan Yunis refugee camp as Amir. With their father held as a hostage in an Israeli prison for the past 2 years, Ahmed has had to step up and become the main supporter of the family. He recently turned 16. A while back, a neighboring family's tent got targeted by an Israeli drone. Ahmed's family's tent was wrecked by the resulting shrapnel. Ahmed's mom, Hayam, was a baker before the war and sent me photos of her delicious treats. Like Amir, Ahmed wants to become an engineer to help rebuild Gaza. He's also in need of eye surgery. Both will require evacuation.
Good morning, brother. I love you. I love you to send money. Thank you.